And boy, what a difference about 20 hours makes. Because yesterday, about 20 hours ago, a little less than that actually, we thought that Aaron Judge was on his way to San Francisco. And now it was only Big Mac. Big Mac stood alone, strong like an ox on an island all by himself. And he said to Evan Roberts, "You shut your mouth, redhead." I didn't hear a single report that said he was a lock to go to San Francisco. And he bullied Evan Roberts into saying that if it went past midnight, fine, I'll agree with you. I think he's going to stay in New York also. And all hell broke loose when a clown reporter got it wrong. But here we are today on December 7th, and Aaron Judge is a Yankee for life. Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, kid?
I'm doing all right. Never forget, today's Pearl Harbor Day.
Yes,
I know
never
many years
forget.
have gone by, but we were viciously attacked a long time ago, and our ancestors and some of our relatives still alive said no, 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 and fought for our freedom. So thank you. Now, as far as your little story you put together, you had a dream.
Yeah, my dream came true.
What was your
Matter
dream?
of fact, he was on his way to San Francisco.
Stop
I know
it.
what you want me to tell you.
He was on his way to San Francisco until he wasn't on his way to San
and
Francisco.
here's what happened. Then San Diego got involved, and they said, "Hey, we'll give you $400 million." And he said, "Wow, wait a minute. Hold on a second." And then the greatest owner in all of sports got on the phone from Italy and said, "Aaron Judge, it's Hal Steinbrenner. For all you guys that, Hal Steinbrenner's cheap. Hal Steinbrenner doesn't want to spend money." Hal Steinbrenner got on the phone on a Zoom call or FaceTime, whatever it was, from Italy and said, "Aaron, it's Hal. Do you want to be a Yankee?" And he called him on it. And Aaron Judge couldn't look the man in the face and say no, because he wants to be a Yankee. Who wouldn't want to be a Yankee? And he said, "Well, then let's make sure you stay a Yankee." And he said, "Mr. Steinbrenner, with all due respect, there's a lot of money on the table that I'd be saying no to if I take the current deal you have." And he said, "What's it going to take to get it done, son?" And he goes, "Just add a year at the same amount and we're good." And Hal Steinbrenner never blinked. Hal Steinbrenner said to all you Yankee fans that booed him when he walked on the field to celebrate Paul O'Neill or Derek Jeter or whatever the hell he does when you people boo him. And he said, "You got it. Now I'm going to go back to my villa and eat some ravioli." And that's how an owner gets a job done. One sec. And all you Yankee fans that have been attacking Hal Steinbrenner, what do you have to say today? He got the job done. That's leadership. That's ownership, and that deserves a tip of the cap from all you animals, Big Mac, who've attacked Hal Steinbrenner for not being that guy.
Well, you said a lot. You babbled a lot out of your mouth.
Amen to everything you just said.
Thank you.
There are a lot
And
of
now I'm going home.
There are a lot of Yankee fans who didn't want to give Aaron Judge a 7th year, an 8th year, a 9th year, or $40 million a year. The island that I lived on, it was the same island Big Mac lived on, was once you get to this territory, give the man what he needs to stay.
And they did.
And so for me and for Big Mac and for any other Yankee fan who had that opinion, Hal did exactly what we demanded him to do. Don't let a 9th year, 2031, be the reason that you don't keep Aaron Judge, or 2032, whatever the year is. Don't let that be the reason. And so I agree with Hal Steinbrenner. I know my pal Big Mac agrees with Hal Steinbrenner, but there were many Yankee fans, yourself included, by the way.
Yeah.
You said there's a line, and the Yankees went past that line.
I think they clearly did.
And I commend them for going past that line, because the world without Aaron Judge was not a good place. It was not a place you wanted to be in. And it's funny how this whole thing ended up, because we've talked about this for months and months and months. You got two things to happen here. A, you got Hal Steinbrenner to go the extra mile.
Right.
But you also got, and this is just a fact now, Aaron Judge took less money to stay a New York Yankee.
And that's the key, because if you could script the perfect scenario, you get him, and he proves to the fan base and to the Yankees, for whatever that means, that he wanted to be here so badly. He took significantly less. He took $40 million less, if the reports are accurate.
Yeah.
That the San Diego Padres, where they're getting their money from, I don't know. Maybe they got
And by the way, it doesn't matter if it's the Padres who made that offer or the Giants who made that offer. Here are the facts. Aaron Judge took a ton of money to stay with the Yankees. We get that. It's a historical kind of contract. But at the end of the day, he took less. He wanted to stay, and that was the ultimate question none of us knew the answer to for months and months and months. Does he want to be here? Does he want to go home? Does he want to be here? Does he want to go home?
Yeah.
And ultimately, the money between the Giants and the Yankees were essentially the same. He wanted to stay. He wanted to be a New York Yankee. And so I know there are some who are going to look at this contract and say, it's stupid, it's bad, it's this, it's that. Well, do me a favor. When it's 2030 and you're pissed off, call back.
Yeah.
No, we'll talk about it. But today, in 2023, in 2024, and in 2025, if you're trying to win a world championship and that's the ultimate goal, Aaron Judge being on this baseball team gives you a better chance of that happening.
Yeah, listen, and now you got to do more because remember, it's not like you acquired a guy that wasn't here last year.
Right.
You've just brought the guy you already had back.
Yes.
And if you try to quote unquote run it back, and obviously you're spending more money to run it back because he's getting more money, well, that's not good enough. And so the Yankees are in a very interesting spot now. They got the guy every Yankee fan wanted back. So they do. You give a tip of the cap because they spent what they had to spend to get the guy back. But they're not a better baseball team today.
No, they have
because they haven't acquired anybody.
Their offense is the same.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're going to be younger players. They're going to
and
be
I will say this: it's whether Volpe plays this year or not is not the issue to me. I think it's very clear that they love the Oswaldos. They love them.
Right.
Love them, love them, love them. There's two of them.
Oswaldo. They do not have the same name.
Well, there's two of them. There's Oswaldos.
They have different names.
No, the plural of Oswaldo is Oswaldos. They got two Oswaldos. One's, what's his last name? Perazza? And what's the other one's name? Jablonski. All right? They got a jack of all trades and a stud infielder. I don't remember their names. It's too hard to figure out with all due respect.
Right.
But they've not gotten better.
No, not yet.
Now the Yankees have to get some pitching.
Well, I think that the big question is going to be, he went the extra mile to keep Aaron Judge. And this is going to be a weird discussion Met fans are going to have to deal with, too. Their owner spends a lot of money.
Who are we talking about here?
Both owners.
Go, all right, yeah.
Both Hal Steinbrenner and Steve Cohen have enormous payrolls. The Yankees are the first team ever to have three guys making $300 million contracts. In Garrett Cole, Giancarlo Stanton, and Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Stanton thing's a little different because they inherited it.
Of course.
The Marlins pay for
but
part
it's
of it.
It's still on their docket
They
right now.
spend a lot of money, but to many Yankee fans, and I get it, to many Met fans too, it's not enough. Like you said, the Yankees haven't gotten better. I love the signing of Tommy Kahnle. We've barely talked about it. It's an under-the-radar move.
Yeah.
It's a good signing.
Bullpen guy.
But are they going to add another starting pitcher, specifically Carlos Rodon? Are they going to improve this offense? And that was always the weird thing about Judge. You're ecstatic he's back. I found out while I was at the bus stop with my son.
Yeah.
And standing with me was the father of one of Jet's friends, diehard Yankee fan, listens to the show.
Right.
Found out about Judge leaving, listening to us
Well,
yesterday.
I mean, a lot of people did because, that's your routine. You'd listen to Carton and Roberts on the Fan going home. I mean, that's how you find out about things. That's how we found out.
I tried to warn them, but...
Yeah, you did. We'll get to you in a little bit. Listen, I bought you a very nice... congratulations lunch at a Dorley.
Yes, you did.
And by the way, I will acknowledge the lentil soup, stupid
Very
good.
good. Very good.
All right, we all enjoyed a cup of it. That's for another day, though, or another time. Look how happy he is.
No, he should be. And that was the
happy.
thing. So I'm experiencing this with a diehard Yankee fan who looks at his phone as we're playing with our kids, and he says, should I? And his voice is shaking.
Yes.
Should I believe this? And I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And he shows me his phone.
Yeah.
And what he shows me, I can't believe this, is a tweet from John Heyman. He didn't see it anywhere else. He says, Evan, John Heyman says Judge is coming back. Should I believe it? And his voice is cracking, Craig.
Yeah.
And I said, you're damn right, you should believe it.
Yeah, because he got it from somebody else who had already reported
because
it.
I said to him, I said, look, it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
As soon as the clock struck midnight, I told the world he will remain a Yankee. You can trust John Heyman.
No, you can't.
And then that grown man.
You really can't.
I'm not going to say his name.
So sorry to say it, but you can't trust John
that grown man
Heyman.
started crying. Tears were coming out of his eyes.
You know what I found interesting about
And then 30 seconds later, after he got emotional, he says to me, now what are we going to do? I'm like, really? So he gave that 30 seconds.
And by the way, that's the right question for a Yankee fan. You brought back the guy you had to bring back, but now you got to do more than that because running it back ain't going to be enough. I mean, in theory, it's enough to make the playoffs probably, but you also have to recognize this. Aaron Judge most likely because who knows, but most likely we'll never have a year as good as this year, whether it's batting average, home runs, RBIs, whatever. So no matter what he does moving forward, it ain't going to be as good. So just know that going into it. But give the Yankee organization credit.
Yeah,
because
Brian,
they had to get him done. You had the Giants who made the same offer going home. And then you had this late bid, apparently, from the San Diego Padres, 10 years, $400 million. That's real.
Yeah.
So he had two options. He had going home for the same money, going to a beautiful city in this country, San Diego, for more money. And he said, you know what? I want to be a Yankee.
The Yankees
And
just
I
needed
love that.
to give in that extra mile, which was a ninth year. And as Brian Cashman just said, because he is now openly talking about this, Hal Steinbrenner is the Mariano Rivera of closing out deals.
Wow.
Isn't that Hal?
Look how things have changed.
Hal came in. And by the way, do you remember when Hal Steinbrenner was booed? You remember what happened?
Go ahead.
There's an oracle that night. It was because they were honoring Derek Jeter.
Right.
And when the crowd booed Hal Steinbrenner, Derek Jeter said, whoa. Guys, trust me. You'll see. Oh, you'll see.
Right.
That's what Jeter said.
Yep.
It's almost like Jeter was the oracle of the future saying, trust me, guys, there'll be a moment where you're going to want to cheer this man. And no matter what you think about this contract, here's why you should applaud this owner. He wouldn't let this guy leave.
Right, by the way,
He said, I am not letting Aaron Judge leave. And no matter what this contract ends up looking like, I give this owner credit. He had an iconic New York Yankee. Yes, there was a lot of business involved in this. I admit that. I've always said that. But he would not let this man leave. And he couldn't let this man leave. And he understood the importance of the moment. And I commend Hal Steinbrenner.
Look, here's the deal. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. Hal Steinbrenner wins here because he did what everybody thought he should do. He's not the reason that Aaron Judge isn't here anymore. He pulled the trigger and got a deal done, and it obviously cost him a lot of money. And you have to applaud that. And one of the best things about it for me, because it's like nails on a chalkboard when I hear it, thank God he did it. Because if he didn't, you know how many times I was going to have to hear and read, George is rolling over in his grave? You know what George would have done? He's not his father. That can end forever now. Please cut that crap out.
It doesn't end forever.
It ends for now.
I understand why you feel that way.
Yuck.
But there are still going to be Yankee fans, and I understand it, who say, we haven't won. We need to win. Go do more. To the point you made earlier, the Yankees aren't better yet. And so here's the real question, and I don't know the answer to this one. None of us
probably do.
Okay. How far do they go now?
Yeah.
Now, it's debatable on what they should do. We could have a million different baseball arguments on what they should do. But the question is, how far now, after spending all this money to retain Aaron Judge, do they go to try to take a team that was good last year, but not good enough to the next level?
Well, they're clearly going to spend more money because they got to get some pitching, if nothing else, right? Even if they buy into the Oswaldos, wherever position you play them on.
Is that their top priority, in your opinion?
Pitching, yes. I think their top priority now is pitching.
What was the
And
strength?
if you tell me Rodon's the best guy left, then it's Rodon.
See, I don't think there's anything wrong with signing Carlos Rodon. Obviously, you're hoping the guy stays healthy. He's had one healthy year in his career, but he showed what he can do when he's healthy. The last 2 years, he's dominant. But I look at the Yankees a year ago. Their offense, to me, was their biggest issue. And, oh, by the way, they got 62 home runs from Aaron Judge.
Right.
Did you think their starting pitching was their biggest issue last year?
No, especially in the playoffs.
Okay, so then why right now, and I respect your opinion, I guess I'm more curious, why right now do you look at that as the number one priority?
Not that listen, J-Mo was my guy.
He's gone.
Teon's gone.
Yeah.
Right? Garrett Cole's the only really guarantee because who knows if Nestor Cortez can replicate last year.
You don't trust Luis
Severino. Who knows
Severino.
if Severino's going to stay healthy.
Frankie Montas, big question.
Montas was garbage last year, but okay, comes in new clean slate. I don't know.
I'm not saying they couldn't use
I want
another.
to go get a pitcher.
Craig, I'm not saying they couldn't use another pitcher.
Yeah.
Not saying they don't need one. I'm saying if you think back to a year ago, it was their offense. And they got a 62 home run season from Aaron Judge that we all agree probably not happening again.
I think it'd be ridiculous to predict it to happen again, yeah.
So that's why I would kindly disagree and say, while there's nothing wrong with signing Carlos Rodon, I would look at offense as a priority.
Okay, that's fine. And who are you targeting in that regard? Nimmo?
I think.
Are you getting Benintendi to come back? What are we doing?
See, I kind of look at it as a couple of solid pieces to improve this lineup. A couple of solid pieces.
Okay.
So number one, I look at left field. and I see Michael Brantley, who's older, and I see the fact that he's been breaking down, but I also see Benintendi, and I see the kid from Japan, who I think has a huge upside.
Yeah, I can't speak to that kid.
Why?
God, I never saw him play.
No, none of us have seen him play.
Right. So, I mean, how do we know? Who knows?
But that not seeing someone play is almost a good
I'm
thing.
just saying, for me, I can't tell you. I know nothing about him other than,
his numbers in Japan.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we can base it
means
on.
nothing to me personally. They use a smaller ball.
No, they don't use a smaller ball.
Yes, they do.
How much smaller?
Not significantly, or maybe they use a bigger ball, but the balls, I honestly forget.
Here's all I know.
There's either bigger or smaller, but it ain't the same size ball.
Here's all I
can tell you
know.
that.
There's a guy in Japan named Masataka Yoshida who has struck out fewer times in like 3,000 at-bats than Aaron Judge has in the last 3 years combined.
I think it's a bigger ball, though. I'm going to look it up right now. I know the size of the ball is different.
I'm intrigued by adding a bat-on-ball left fielder. Look, you could bring back Andrew Benintendi. I don't think we ever saw the best of Andrew Benintendi last year, and he got hurt. So we never saw him in the postseason. But I am intrigued by Masataka Yoshida as a left field option.
Yeah, so there's just, to be put it out there so people don't think I'm making this up.
Yeah.
Japanese professional baseball uses a smaller ball than American Major League Baseball.
So that makes him better then.
It makes who better? It makes the
Yoshida.
pitchers worse and the hitters better.
Thank you.
There you go. All right, there you go.
Look,
So,
the thing is with Senga, who I want for the Mets, and Yoshida, who I think would be a good fit for the Yankees, is we're only basing it on what we read and numbers we see on Baseball Reference. But the point is this. Besides the different ways you can go about this, I don't think they're signing Carlos Correa to play third base. I don't think they're going to steal Xander Bogaerts, who apparently is negotiating to go back to Boston. I don't think Evan Longoria or Justin Turner are necessarily the answer at third base. But I do think you need to improve this offense going into next year. Re-signing Judge was a necessity. Today is a good day if you're a Yankee fan.
it's a great day if you're a Yankee fan.
But you need more.
Yeah, it's a great day if you're a Yankee fan and a terrible day if you're related to John Heyman.